So, welcome to the Average Adventuring Party podcast, where we don't believe in half-assed efforts. We show our whole ass every time.
Damn right.
So
Numerous times for Galdrien.
especially Galdrien.
I was sold on Galdrien when Steve pitched him to me, and that was a major plot point.
I mean, it is.
Key point of his background is that he fled from a village, showing them his ass.
And then you moon the top.
Then why does he keep doing it, though?
He got a taste for nudism.
Yeah, yes.
He's a bard.
He likes to put his best side backward.
Wait a minute. So, last time, these guys totally did not get ripped off.
Nope.
And had a brilliant and amazing economic
Exchange.
at the Floating Stoat Casino in the Caldera. Let's see, we had Team Critter chasing after a dog for some reason.
With bacon.
With bacon. Team Shopping Spree. Doing some stuff that they can't quite remember, but didn't buy anything because they didn't bring any money on their shopping expedition.
Free nose piercings.
You've always had that nose piercing.
Free nose piercing that I always had.
And then we had Team Crime.
Case in a joint.
Awkwardly casing the joint.
Trying to figure out a way into the auction house where the onyx statue that the guys were looking for was housed. We left off with Galdrien and Suna cornering a one-eyed dog, feeding it bacon.
This sounds like a euphemism of some sort.
Yeah, you gotta go pet your one-eyed dog.
You've
Yes.
already covered that in a previous episode.
Oh, okay.
Giving the one-eyed dog some bacon does sound...
Is that the episode title?
Yes.
No, I think one of the last episode titles had bacon in it.
Ah.
You can't...
Feeding the one-eyed dog. There we go.
Contrary to popular belief, you can't put bacon in everything.
But it's bacon.
Suna and Galdrien had cornered this dog, given it some bacon, and then when Galdrien looked at it, he heard his name.
Ah, so you remember me then?
You hear, "No, we've never met."
Ah? You just know my name then?
Yes.
Well, I do happen to know who you are.
Go on.
You are from Lost, are you not?
I'm sorry, what?
You are, supposed to be sitting on a throne right now, aren't you?
I suppose in the grand scheme of things, yes.
Am I just hearing his side of this?
Yes.
Oh,
The dog is looking at you and looking at Galdrien alternatively.
Galdrien will kneel down and say, yes, well, you are the traveler, aren't you?
I am a traveler, yes.
Well, this is going to be a little hard to believe, but this actually is not our first meeting. It is as far as you're concerned, but I've been through this before.
I'm gonna reach up and put my paw on Galdrien's forehead. Are you feeling okay?
Let me talk to the dog.
What? He's not talking back to you.
Oh, you can't hear it. Oh.
I can't hear. Are you hearing voices now too? Oh, we're gonna have to put you down, aren't we? Ardith is gonna be so upset.
The dog stops wagging its tail. You hear the voice say, "I've been around a very long time, and I can guarantee that you and I have never met."
Yes, well, then how come I know that when you sit back on your throne, you will revert to your true form?
And what, pray tell, is my true form?
Oh, changeling god of sorts.
I'm sorry, you must have me mistaken with someone else.
Look, I'm not here for any ill intent or ill reason. I'm here because I need your help.
Oh, yes, Rorari's Desire mentioned that.
Well,
What, pray tell, can I do for you?
I am looking for a onyx statue. They have it on sale for the auction here, and I have a feeling that it's going to be well guarded, and we need it in order to prevent catastrophe from befalling the caldera.
I'm currently in the middle of the ocean, so I don't know exactly what you expect me to do about that.
Galdrien, I'm really
You're
starting to be scared.
You're not the dog in front of me, are you? You are Fossus, aren't you?
Yes.
Right, you have to understand I've been chasing a... Never mind.
It sounds like you need more help than you're letting on.
Is this the wrong dog?
Not now,
How
Suna.
many dogs do you know?
Not now. Well, you and I have also met. I ignore everything I have said about...
I'm going to stop you right there. Because once certain things have been said, certain individuals and organizations may be made aware of them, even if they're not in proximity. Rarari's desire let me know that you were in possession of some information that was not yours about plans that I may and or may not have. And I would like to rectify that. Let's call it an offering of goodwill.
Right, well, we've made deals before, and they led to some complications. So
let's just have a small verbal agreement between yourself and myself.
Of course.
That you won't mention anything about my plans for expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And I provide you with something useful.
All right. That certainly sounds fair. I certainly don't need to mention anything.
What sounds fair?
Suna,
Are you
I'm
making
talking,
a deal?
I'm talking, Suna, right now.
You're not talking to anybody. Talking to yourself. Are you making a deal?
Galdrien hears, excellent. Then we're well met. And your ears stop tingling.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell Ardith.
Galdrien, your armor begins, like, little burn spots start appearing on it. Just start scratching themselves into these patterns, and as you look down, you realize it's lines of music, like, wrapped all the way around you. And there's a couple of different bands on them. And there's no notes on the bars. There's no notes. It's just an empty sheet. Like I said, your ears stop tingling, and you...
Ooh, somebody's gonna be in trouble. Wait till Ardith hears that you made a deal with some voice in your head.
Galdrien is going to boop
wait.
Suna on the snoot.
You
Quiet.
wait.
Now I need to talk to the dog.
The dog looks at both of you.
Sorry, that was I had to take something. You know how exes are.
Dog looks at you for a moment and then just gives a little nod.
Anyway, sorry, there was some confusion there. I guess you weren't talking to me through my head. I know who you are. We need your help, and we in turn can try to help you.
Its ears perk up and its tail wags a little.
In a previous life of mine, you helped me and my companions prevent the Draconic cult from bringing back one of the red dragons. We need the onyx statue that they are selling at the auction here, and it seems to have been taken, and we need some way of retrieving it. Perhaps you might be able to help us with some sort of distraction.
The dog puts up a paw, gently places it on Galdrien's knee, Stands up, starts wagging its tail. Looks over at Suna. Wags its tail, looks at the bacon in your hand.
Go on, give him the bacon, seal the pact.
First you're making deals with people in your head, now you're gonna make deals with this dog.
Well, I know
Next
this.
you'll be putting on a mask that we told you not to put on.
No, I know the traveler well. He is very trustworthy.
And you're sure this is the traveler?
When you ask that, the dog barks.
You don't get a say, because you could be lying. He's told me all along this place is full of lying and trickery and everything like that. So you, dog, don't get a say. Galdrien, how do you know this is the one you're looking for?
I look at the dog and I say, it would be really stupid of someone, if you were to send them back in time, if they were to change events and cause stars to fall out of the sky, wouldn't it?
The dog's ears just kind of fold down. It looks over at Suna, who's got, probably her hands on her hips. The dog kind of scoots over to her and sits, and then stands up, and just opens its mouth in sort of like a mockery of what Suna's doing. She's just,
There you go.
and then swipes the rest of the bacon out of your hand.
I'm telling Ardith, and I'm going to turn around and start walking away.
Right. Would you care to come with us? I hold out my hand to the dog.
He gives you a paw and then starts walking towards Suna.
I start walking with the dog. We're going to try to meet back up with towards the rally point.
And I'm mumbling the whole way about not letting me kill things, but yet he gets to make deals. Just wait. You just wait till I tell Ardith.
Thought we had a fox. It turns out we had a rat.
You guys meet up probably close to an hour later, back in that sort of central area where you can make all of your exchanges. Suna and, Shannara and Iocus come in. Shannara is probably still grumping about the fact that she let Ardith take all the money and didn't think to ask her for some. Galdrien and Suna come in. There's a gray dog walking in between them. And anytime Suna stops to do something, like to turn and say something to Galdrien, the dog steps up beside you, turns and shakes his head.
It's okay. You can keep doing that. It'll all come back to you.
Ardith comes back. She has a particularly concerned look on her face, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Just basing it on the looks I got when Stephanie was casing the joint last session. So there you guys are.
Ardith,
Yes.
do you know what Galdrien did? Let me tell you what Galdrien did.
What did Galdrien did this
He didn't
time?
have to kill somebody.
He adopted
First
a dog,
off.
apparently.
You remember, we called him Brave last time, but now we actually know his real name.
Are we still going to call him Brave, though?
What do you think? You okay if I still call you Brave out of force of habit? I look down at the dog.
The dog looks back up at you, shrugs.
Say, all right. Until we get you back on your throne.
Not only did he make a deal with this dog, he made a deal with a voice in his head.
The dog is fine. And Ardith's actually going to nod at the dog like, well met, dude. But it's good to see you again.
Dog, nods a little bit.
Then he had a whole conversation and made a deal. And look at his armor. It changed. Do you see that? He made a deal
I think
with
it's rather
something
fancy.
in his head.
It is, but what is this about a deal?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Tell her.
this was a simple
Tell her.
deal.
Uh-huh.
Simple
I
deal,
would
he
not
says.
tell anyone about what certain someone may or may not be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all there is to it.
And you don't have any specifics about what you got. Aside from that.
Get him, Ardith.
I'll find it. I'll find out.
And this deal is only binding you, correct?
Yes, as far as I know.
Okay. That's what we call blackmail.
That's it?
Yeah, you're supposed to tell him that you'll tell Ardith unless he gives you something.
Well, he is. He's letting me kill the guy.
What's
Right?
this about killing a guy?
Right?
We found a fighting ring of where they're keeping fairies imprisoned. Poor things. And she wanted to watch it first. Until
And
I
this-
pointed out that they were being held captive. At which point, then she
He
decided
took
that
a dog that was hurt and just kind of
not a
shook
dog.
it up.
It was a fairy.
And-
You're getting confused again.
And just, no big deal.
Suna.
I told him we were going to kill him. Or
She
I was
told
gonna
a
kill him.
man that she was
I
going to
did.
kill him to his face.
I did.
And how did he react to that?
Not very well.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, it's nice to know when you're going to die.
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
Sometimes
Was
you
it-
can prepare yourself.
Was it nice to know when we were being stalked by that skeleton?
I mean, didn't bother me any. So Iocus, what? You let him get a piercing, but I can't go play somewhere?
What do you mean? Well, then. Jannar, did you take him to get pierced?
I want a piercing.
I'll tell you, I've always had this.
He's always had that.
Not
Okay. Skipping all that. Okay, here's the thing at the auction. It's 100 chits to play.
For the
Stop
audience
doing
at
that.
home, Iocus started playing with that as Suna also went to flick the nose ring, and then we both noticed that we're both flicking the nose ring.
Both of you, stop that. Okay, they have a silent auction going on for all this stuff, including a retired fairy. So, yeah.
I could get a fairy.
No, you cannot.
Set a fairy free.
Yes! And then try to
Fairy's
talk her
going
into-
for 1,000 chits.
I wonder if the dice could. I wonder if the dice work when the fairies are in the cages.
when they're in their cages. Oh, ooh.
Probably not. It
Probably
won't.
not. They probably turn them on when they come out to fight.
Mm.
So probably not.
But what if we?
What if we free that one that helps us then free all the others to create a distraction?
That might work.
Not for nothing, guys, but we're just talking about revolt in the middle of a
Busy causeway.
busy causeway.
Yeah, right. Keep it. Let's keep it down. Let's try to find somewhere a little more discreet.
Before we go, I'm gonna go, since we met back by the sellers. I have a prized egg here. How much would you sell for this?
You go to do you go to the same appraiser? He takes a look at it. Goes, well, that's neat. Hold on. He shines a light. Shines it in there. Well, it looks alive. 500 chits.
I think a rare basilisk egg is worth more than that. I'm gonna try and talk him up. I was a nomad with the caravan,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll apply my nomad background. I'm assuming that's charisma.
Yep.
That's a nat 20, so 25.
Woo.
I'm very attached to Eggy.
Egbert.
I could probably get a decent commission off of that myself. I'll go as high as 750 chits.
Oh, okay. But you're going to take good care of them, right?
Well, it's going to go to the bosses, and whatever they do with it, I imagine it'll go on the auction.
Okay. I'll miss you, buddy.
He hands you a stack of these little wooden coins.
We might be able to get it back for cheaper.
No.
No.
No. The fairy was going for well over 1,000.
Oh.
And it was used.
Yeah.
This is brand new.
There were many things.
Never before. All right.
Like how we're not using the term alive. This is
Shannara, if you really want that piece of junk you were talking about.
Oh, no. He wouldn't go down to a reasonable price.
Okay. Here we go.
Mom would be disappointed in me if I capitulated now and went back and bought it.
I've met your mother. I think she'll be disappointed in everyone no matter what.
Hey, he's right.
I mean, he has a point.
Yeah. Add this to our total.
Yep.
So 750 plus whatever. I don't remember.
Poor Egbert. Oh, Miss Eggy.
Did y'all write it down?
Yes.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
425,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and now 750.
Okay.
1125 for those at home.
So I say we go behind a tent and discuss things.
Right. Crime.
Secret ingredient is crime. The dog walks you behind one of the tents. Basically, he walks through the opening, and he goes to the other end and sits down and is just keeping watch.
Scritch, scritch, scritch.
So, right. What do we find about the statue? Is it?
Oh, no, now you guys are going to listen to me about the auction, huh?
Yes.
Okay. It's 100 chits to play.
Yes.
They'll start the auction once they fill up their card. There are only a couple slots left. The junk is going for well over thousands of chits.
But we definitely can't afford that. We only have, even if we had enough, even if we could keep the auction under 1,000 chits, we only have 1,125.
So you said the auction starts when the card fills up?
Yes.
So what's to stop him from bidding 100 on it, you bidding 200, me bidding 300, etc., within how many chits we have in filling up the card?
No, the card is a slot to allow you to bid.
It's a ticket to play.
Yes. And you can probably, I imagine you can probably bid as many times as you can once you're in there.
Yeah. And you can buy as many tickets to play as you want. They weren't specific on how many were left, but not
So
many.
how are we still in this instead?
Well,
So
we need to get at least one ticket for someone to create a distraction, and I recommend me because I am very distracting.
That's true.
We need to get you, Ardith, into there because you are our burglar.
Suggestion.
How about we try to start the auction, buy however many it takes, let somebody bid on the statue, and then take it from that person that won't have it in, the glass case and big old tent, a lot of people.
Well, it is sitting on a pedestal under a glass case in the middle of the room, which is a little suspicious. There may be backup security on it, but there are attendants, and there are people everywhere in there.
Yeah.
You go around back, though, it's a storage room where people come and collect their shit.
See?
So we have her go into the back room,
Let the auction start. Let somebody buy it.
but we still need a distraction in the front so that she can get out of there.
There is at least one attendant in the storage room.
Probably more, I imagine.
I mean,
can
would a
hope.
bird in the tent be a good enough distraction if they try to get the bird out?
I think a very pissed off fairy might be a good one.
I mean, that too.
I think they'll just let the bird stay until
Oh.
they have to get rid of you.
I mean, you
Well.
could start pooping on merchandise.
And knocking stuff over and...
All the merchandise is behind. They cage the merchandise. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, like,
But a bird
how
might
far
not be noticed if you were able to open some of the cages.
I was going to say, how far away are the bars? From,
I'm guessing it's
how
like chicken
big?
wire.
No, so they are, vertical bars, so think like prison bars. They're maybe 2 or 3 inches apart, and they go from floor to ceiling. So there's gaps in the bars, and then the actual merchandise is maybe 3 or 4 feet behind that.
Okay. So pretty much gigantic walk cabinets.
Yeah, like there's room for someone to get in and move about behind the bars with the gear, but not much otherwise.
So what it sounds like to me is that if you can do that fancy trick, Suna, where you turn into a bird, perhaps you might be able to open that cage with the fairy in it. And then that might be our distraction.
Or at the very least, she could actually case the storage room.
And
See how
then
many people are back there.
I'll purchase at least 1 ticket, try to draw out the bidding for the statue as much as I can. Try to make it as competitive as possible. Really make it a
Wanted item.
I think it's already going to be that.
Oh.
They're planning it to be the little jewel of today.
And then Iocus, I imagine you can probably provide some sort of physical barrier in case Ardith needs to make a quick getaway.
I've been known to do that a time or two.
So, I think we need to buy up enough tickets to get the auction started. Have the auction get started. Once you tell us the statue has been bid on and is good to go, I'll fly in and try to get the sprite fairy dude unlocked. He'll cause a distraction, and Ardith can get the statue, and we book it.
I have a question. If they run these auctions fairly often, don't you suspect they might have a procedure or protocol in place if there's a violent distraction or something gets loose? Wouldn't you expect them to go on... I would expect them to go on lockdown versus keep
Panic.
selling, or because a distraction at that point would be, to me, leading to some type of theft going on. Like they're
That's
an auction
why.
house.
So we could take our chances, and once somebody places the bid and wins the statue, when they go back, I'll be a bird in the storage room, and once they go in the storage room to pick it up, I'll find out what they put it in, how they're carrying it out of there, and then we just mug the person.
I'd rather not do that. I'd rather make a scene, honestly.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
I tend to agree with that, though. It's probably going to be easier for us to steal from one than potentially lock everything down, ruin the auction. Like that's my concern.
You can always make a scene while we're mugging the guy.
Yeah, like
Yes,
that's when
there
the
you go.
that's when
As
the
long as I get to
distraction
make a
was.
scene. And
Yeah.
I'll make a scene during the auction, but it won't be a stealing. All right. There we go. We'll call that Plan B, though, the smash and grab. All right.
Yes.
All right,
But go buy a seat for the auction, and if that doesn't start it, then Iocus can go buy a seat for the auction, and if that doesn't start it, then one of us buys one more. Not me, because I'm going to be in the storage room.
all right.
And we'll see if that takes care of it and starts it.
Galdrien is going to go ahead and stand up and dust off his pants, make himself look as presentable as possible, and look at his armor with these musical staves around it and say, oh, look rather nice, actually.
Hey, you're gonna pull something there, patting yourself on your own back. But yes, you look kind of nice.
You've got something on your nose there.
Good luck, fling, for me. I just want to fling it one more time. Good luck.
Stop ringing his nose ring.
But it's weird.
Yes, it is.
I've had this the whole time.
No, you have not.
Maybe he just didn't put it in before. I don't know.
Tell me.
He's
All
get-
right.
He's
Hey,
getting
you
old.
grew up seeing me with this, right?
He's getting
Oh.
old. His memory's going.
Yeah, I remember it.
Should
I remember the first time he threw me across the room because I reached up to grab it and pull, and
And it hurt like hell. Yeah.
What are y'all smoking?
You weren't there.
Obviously. Were you?
Yeah.
I was, and she grabbed your nose, not a ring.
My nose ring.
Right. Galdrien's going to
Yeah,
get up and
whatever.
go into the auction house to buy a ticket.
All right. So I would like you guys
To roll initiative.
to roll initiative.
Oh dear
'Cause,
lord.
A heist sounds like a great skill challenge to me.
Oh dear lord.
Oh crap. Oh, it's probably good though.
All right, Iocus, what you got?
Measly 18.
Oh god.
I only rolled a 2, but I got an 18. Galdrien.
13.
Hey, better than your 6 last time. Suna.
9.
Still better than Galdrien's 6 last time. Ardith.
18.
She gets to go first.
Yeah. So we'll do.
Oh dear lord.
We'll do Ardith, then Iocus, Galdrien, and Suna.
Just to be clear, our plan is to let him get into the auction, let them bid.
Let the buyer buy
We're
it.
bugging the buyer.
Yes.
Is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
So
want to be clear on that.
we'll say to set this up, what happens is, as Galdrien's approaching, he hears one of the attendants call out, "Only 2 spots left for the auction of the night. Only 2 spots left."
Yes, two tickets for it, please.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And he holds out his hand for your chits, all
Yep.
200 of them.
Give him 200 chits.
And when you do, he hands you this wooden... It almost looks like a deck of cards. It's kind of that shape and size. And it has effectively the symbol for the floating stoat on it. It's a goose. Imagine a boat that's made out of a goose. It's sitting like clearly on some water. And he hands it to you and goes, "You won't be needing it for very long, young man." At which point it promptly lights up and little fireworks start shooting off of it. Once the others are notified, they'll be along shortly. You can just take a seat if you'd like to wait here.
Yes, of course.
And the attendants go about the work of bustling everybody out of this building.
I'm going to be paying attention to the door to the storage area that Ardith pointed at.
Mm-hmm.
Because the second I see the door open, I'm going to try to turn into a bird and fly. Or do I have to wait for my turn?
Well,
I'll wait till my turn.
wait till your turn.
Sorry. Sorry.
Over the next few minutes, we'll say there's probably, I don't know, about 30 people that come in. All of them seem to be well appointed. At least one of them is stopped at the door and told that his manservant can't come in with him. They start sort of taking seats around Galdrien. At which point, these 2 elves step out of the back room. They both have red hair. One of them's got a bandana tied across his head and has kind of like a thick, multi-layered long coat on, very similar to Iocus. It's a different color, it's brown, but it looks pretty close. The other one is wearing a very fancy suit, more akin to Galdrien's, where it's got, he's wearing a shirt, but he also has like a little half jacket that has got a lot of scroll work and is clearly from the Sunchaser Sovereignty. Both of them around their necks have goggles, and they have pale white skin and red hair, and white eyes. And they step in, and one of them says, "We'd like to welcome you to our auction. We only have one item tonight, but I guarantee it's a fantastic one. Wouldn't you agree, brother?" And the second one looks up and goes, "Oh, most certainly, brother. One of a kind. Never seen anything like it before in my life. Had it verified by all of our mages. This is a genuine draconic artifact. Now, what say we start the bids? Has everyone gotten their refreshments?" At which point some attendants step forward and they have jugs of wine and ale. Some people take it, some people don't.
Galdrien will take some, but he won't drink it.
Okay.
It'll be his accessory ale.
Yeah. You get a nice champagne flute style cup, and they give you this sparkling wine in it. When everyone gets settled back down, the one with the jacket says, I think we should start at, I don't know, brother, what's a good price? Let's start at 10,000 chits. At which point, people start bidding, and we'll cut to Ardith up first in the initiative, outside the back.
Yeah,
of the building?
I'll be showing Suna where the storage room is.
Okay.
And pretending like, okay, showing her, okay, this way's this thing, that way's that thing. Probably take a shortcut around this way.
Mm-hmm. So it is your turn. You can hear talking from the inside,
Mm-hmm.
and you clearly hear them say, let's start the bidding.
Can we hear anything else?
You hear a lot of people talking in there. It's not a silent bid in any way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people like calling out numbers, and
Can I hear those numbers?
Oh yeah, we'll say within the first 30 seconds, it's gotten well up over 100,000 chits.
Well, of course it has. I'm glad that bidding wasn't actually the plan. Okay. Is there anybody back there?
Yeah, we'll say at some point one of the attendants comes out, like looks around, closes the door, but puts a little rock in it, and then pulls out a pipe and starts smoking.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Let me think here.
I like how you're saying, what am I going to do here? Like, stab things is not top of that list.
That's okay. We're trying to be discreet here.
Yeah, really. We want the guy to pick the statue up.
We want the attendants to not get hurt in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I could knock this guy out and guarantee that nobody else is coming out that door, I would. But we didn't have time to case it that well.
Is there a place you could hide him?
There's
once you knock him out?
probably crates or stuff that you could shove him in.
Yeah, that's true. How much attention is he paying to anything
He's
beyond
not-
his pipe?
Yeah, he's not paying attention to much.
He's a minimum wage indentured worker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the implication that this place has a minimum wage, because
Exactly.
you're wrong.
Yeah, that's why I said indentured worker.
Well, minimum wage to pay back your debt.
No.
Okay, so let's try knock the dude out.
Okay. So how are you going to do that?
Okay. Try to choke him out, or I can hit him with the hold of a knife. One of these two might actually work.
I'd say it's a pretty good dex check to sneak up on him. Is there any background you would like to apply to this?
Rope for hire, yes.
All right.
15.
15. Ardith waits for this guy to, just like takes a big puff, lets out a sigh, turns around to look at something. She just comes up and clocks him over the head, and just in one smooth motion just takes his body and dumps him into a trash can and puts a lid on it.
I'm sorry. Not really, but yeah.
You open the door, and inside there are rows and rows of crates. There's a couple of other rooms that are separated by doors, and then there's clearly access to the main room, because you can see basically down either side where the bars would be. So it's access to the storage holds. Iocus.
Well, seeing as how I can't be in the auction, I'm going to be with the infiltration team around and back.
Did anybody go with Galdrien?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you bought 2 tickets.
Yeah,
I was thinking, I probably took...
The dog?
My dog only drinks the finest of champagnes.
Galdrien probably took Shannara with him, honestly.
Okay.
She's right. She's his eye candy.
Yeah, like Shannara's on his arm and probably giving her all his ale.
So, she knocks the guy out. Looking in, was there anybody active in the storage room?
Yeah, so if you follow her in, there are some workers back here. We'll say maybe 10 or 12 workers who are moving things around in preparation of like restocking the auction boxes. They seem pretty engrossed in what they're doing.
What's the roof look like? Like, how tall up? How
So from the outside or the inside?
from the inside?
From the inside?
I'm like looking at it.
It's single story plus a little bit, so it's maybe 10 feet up, and then it's got a vaulted roof, and there's support struts and things like that up there.
All right. I'd like to try and sneak my way in and jump up into the rafters, holding myself ready.
Monk.
Yeah,
It won't be as
like-
bad.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds like a great dexterity check to do this while not being seen.
Yes, and I am going to apply my spike jack for, I'm assuming, infiltrations I've done. No? They're
Spike-
more on the kick down the door.
Yeah,
and,
spike jacks are.
I'm
Alright,
infiltration.
then I'm going to apply my monk training, I assume, various dexterity
Yeah.
and agility trainings where you have to hold yourself in certain positions.
Mhm.
Okay. You said plus dex.
Mhm.
Alright, so that's a 16.
All right. Iocus. Ardith goes in and immediately finds cover. Iocus follows her in.
Makes his own cover.
Is about to try to find cover when a couple of these workers pick up crates and start carrying them towards the back. And so Iocus just flat-footed leaps up to the ceiling and grabs onto it and does that super cool, like, holds his body straight while just bracing with his arms so that he's way up there and they don't see him as they pass underneath. Galdrien. The bidding has gotten pretty fast and furious, and at some point, we'll say once it hits probably the 300,000 chit range, the brothers hold up their hands and go, I think we should take a break. Let cooler heads prevail. Why don't we mingle? You can observe for yourself. We've been selfish in letting you just sit there and not actually look at this draconic artifact. At which point people start getting up and milling around.
Galdrien's going to look around and say, as he is observing the statue, I would like to make use of the silver tongue feat, or talent, by making use of the fact that he still has the black dragon mask with him. He's going to say, well, isn't that strange? You know, I'm something of a draconic scholar myself, and you know that something about this doesn't seem right. And try to use a silver tongue feat to start spreading the scent that perhaps this item is not as genuine as they're they are making it seem. Just to some of the other bidders, not trying to make it a big scene out of it.
Yeah.
Yet.
I'm gonna give you a chance at a hard. I'm not gonna let it auto succeed.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
That is. So that was a chance at a hard. DC, I imagine, is more than a 15 then.
Well, what do you got?
At 15.
You know, you start spreading these rumors. You get a lot of people talking, and at one point, a guy just grabs you by the arm, and walks you up there, and it's like, clearly, this is a draconic art. You can see it in the craftsmanship, and he just starts going on about it. What Galdrien realizes as this man is like dragging him around it, there are certain angles at which he walks around this box that there's just like a tiny bit of distortion. You're fairly certain that there are mirrors or something in there, like the actual object is not in that box, that it is being projected in there somehow.
Good info to have.
And good luck getting it to your team. Suna.
I'll try to communicate that to Shannara somehow.
It is your turn, Suna. You've seen Ardith go in the back, Iocus go in the back. People have started talking more. Like, there's less yelling and more actual just talking.
Can I hear what they're talking about? The statue? Or just other things?
Just things.
Just things.
There's people introducing themselves and networking.
Do I recognize any names? No. Okay.
No.
So I'm also going to walk in. Are any of the crates open as I walk in there? Can I see any
So
just glancing around?
if you walk in the back door, there are some crates that are open, and they're kind of like, some of them are stuffed with straw or cotton, and they have things resting in there.
So How tall are these crates? Like, can I see over them if I
There's
walk up to them?
Various sizes, yeah.
Okay.
You're taller than they are. Some of them.
So on some of the smaller ones,
Mm-hmm.
people are gonna notice me though. How many people are working? Lots of people working, or just a few workers?
We'll say at this point there's probably like 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Because a couple of them left.
Okay.
And one's stuffed in a trash can.
And one's in the trash can.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn into a bird,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna try to find one of these crates that you said there's straw and stuff. So I want to kind of nose through just a little bit and find a place that I can sit, but stick my head up to look.
What are you trying to accomplish? Because that's not moving
That's not
the narrative forward.
Okay.
She's nesting. She's looking for a good place to have some chicks. You know.
Okay, then I'm going to use my bird form, and I want to look through a few. But I want to do bird form because it's less if I jump from jump.
I will give you that you can look through a few of them if you tell me how you are advancing the story with it. I stop and look is not enough. Remember also that you have Ardith in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and you basically have access to the main room because from this back area you can get out to the areas that are behind bars.
Oh, so, okay. I will become a bird, and since we can get to the areas that were behind bars,
Mm-hmm.
will I be able to see the little fairy sprite?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I go over there and... No, I can't talk in bird form, though. And I don't want to release her just yet, because it'll start a distraction. Can I see the case that the statue was in? Because is that a different room where they're auctioning it?
Technically.
Technically.
So it's like one big long building with partitions and the
Hold on.
roof.
Okay, so if I fly out behind those bars, or fly to the sprite behind those bars, there's a chance people might see me.
Yes.
Because everybody's in that room.
Correct.
Unless you fly stealthily. Hop, 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 hop.
I mean, but as far as they know, you're just a bird.
I mean, that's true.
But Galdrien might see you as well.
Okay, so, I mean, that's true. I am just a bird to them. So I might, okay. But it's floor to ceiling. So I think what I'll do is I'll fly out to behind those bars
Mm-hmm.
to where the sprite cubby is
Mm-hmm.
and stand there and try to make a little fluttering noises to see who all sees me and looks over at me to try to get Galdrien's attention. I'm kind of fluttering and trying to...
Are you trying
Your
to only
attention.
attract him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only attract him because I'm hoping he will kind of point out the highest bidder so far. So we can kind of, but not that you would know that. I don't know how to tell you that though.
All right. Well, let's start there.
Okay.
So make me a good charisma check to attract just Galdrien or Shannara.
Dr. Janara.
They are both in the room.
Yes.
Galdrien is currently being yelled at by a man about the authenticity of draconic artifacts.
I'm about to
Even
pull out,
here, the nerds have to
Yeah.
own.
about to pull out a mask and shove it on this guy's face.
You said charisma?
Mm-hmm. Is there a...
I would think that my Enchanted Forest Guardian background would work wonders here because I would have had to turn into a bird to watch the people walking through my forest to try to see what they're doing in order to see if they're hurting anything or if they're a danger to my
Or
forest.
see how quickly you need to kill them.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's good. Because I'm going to need it. So that's a 16.
Only bird we know that goes, caw, motherfuckers. Hey, I think that's Suna.
No, didn't mention killing anyone. Can't be her.
True.
So, Ardith, you take cover, and you see this bird fly in and just flap around the corner. Galdrien, at a certain point, you start hearing some of the notes from your music just being tapped out on a wooden crate. And when you recognize your music anywhere. And when you look over, sitting on top of one of those cubbies is a blackbird that looks...
Sitting very regally with the chest out.
She appears to be trying to get your attention.
Okay. Can I go over there real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Galdrien will casually, making it look like he's trying to just take a look around. I'll go over and say, the statue is not in the case.
And I'll since it's still your turn, I will let you convey that to Ardith if you would like.
Yes.
Okay.
So I will fly back to the storage room and get to where she is to turn back into myself and say, well, Galdrien doesn't think the statue's actually there.
Did he say anything else?
No.
Okay.
So y'all said this place is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Thievery, fake stuff.
Well, then we're going to hope that's back here somewhere. And not in some other kind of safekeeping.
Okay, so how do we find it? This is a lot of stuff.
This is a lot of stuff.
Speaking of Ardith, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to stealthily start looking through stuff, and I'm going to use my guild artisan background because, heck, there's probably a museum somewhere in... Where are they from? Dying Scully? This time around?
Yeah.
Okay. There's definitely a museum there.
Mm-hmm.
And probably at least one summer or two, she's probably had to help put things out and learn as part of an art history, an art history course or something. Which means knowing how they organize shit, how well they pack it, and so she'll have a good idea of maybe where it could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like a good either intelligence or wisdom to suss it out.
It's the same score.
Oh, well.
Well, it's the same modifier. Wait, why is it the same Okay, yeah, no, it's the same modifier. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's 24.
Ardith does the whole, if I were a tiny obsidian statue that was very, very expensive, where would I be bit? And then revises herself to, if I were a criminal asshole that was trying to bilk people out of money, where would I hide a thing?
Accurate.
So she kind of looks through a couple of crates, looks just here and there, goes and opens one of those doors, and there's an office back there. Inside one of the offices, there's this statue that looks very old and dusty and not at all like the rest of the merchandise here. And when you go up to it, there's clearly something up with it. You take a knife and kind of scratch at it, and it has a very paper mache quality to it.
Which explained the dust.
And when you cut it open, on the inside there is said statue and a whole host of mirrors that looks like it's going in different places, and there's a little light source in there, which we'll say you realize after you go to grab it.
I can't move it yet.
Yeah, see what's going on, and we'll say outside Galdrien, you see the slightest flicker in that image of the statue. And it is Iocus' turn. You, I assume, stayed up there?
So, at this point, I see Ardith doing what exactly? What did I see? Where did I see her go?
So you see her, walk around and poke at various things over the course of a few minutes. And then she walked into one of those offices, and you start hearing her kind of curse under her breath.
It's very colorful. You maybe taught me some of these words.
Entirely.
What in the cow tipping is going on?
No, there'd be a lot more F-bombs in there.
Alright, well,
we'll say this is probably the point at which those two guys come back and just start talking to the other workers who were kind of paying attention to their own thing, but now they stop working and start talking about the bidding. So they've pretty much got eyes on the whole floor.
Well, at this point, I don't know what to do. You know what, for right now, I'm going to, because I'm the one to secure the exit, I am going to hold this round until we make a move. No?
No holding.
No holding.
It's an open ceiling over everything, right? Just like the
yeah.
plus space.
Yeah.
Could he fit in there?
Yes. So what she's asking is the ceiling, so this wall does not go up to the ceiling, so the support struts go all the way into the main room.
I could go watch.
Yeah.
I could go watch, but we're going to have to remove this statue, and it's going to cause a ruckus once we do, unless we wait till the end of the bidding. And then they're still going to go in there. Can I try and crawl? Can I access the office? Is it blocked off? All right, I'm going to try and crawl across the beams until I can get over the office.
You can do it as a part of whatever you're doing.
Okay. Well, what I want to do is I want to get into the office and drop down and... No, actually, I just want to hide myself above the office. You
can see what I found.
Yeah.
Ardith is already in the office.
Okay.
So, like I said, you can use it as part of your description, but that in and of itself doesn't...
Well, see, my thing is, I don't know if we're ready to steal it or not. I have no info on that.
You can, because time is kind of abstracted, you can communicate with your party members.
Okay, alright, well. Because... basically, I'm willing to create the path to the door if we're ready to steal it and go, but otherwise...
So you can talk to Ardith as part of your...
Okay. That's why I was going to head over there.
Yeah, that's why I was asking about the ceiling, too. Give him some movement.
Yeah. So, crawling over there, I'm trying to speak with Ardith. What'd you find?
We can't take it yet.
Found
it.
Not?
Found it.
Uh-huh.
But they're still looking at it out there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
If I move it here, it's going to move out there.
Yeah, of course.
So,
and we can make a run for it, right?
if I grab this and it moves out there, they're going to know something's up, and we're going to have immediate pandemonium and lock down.
Well, I'd like to...
So either we wait until they finish bidding and bring it back here and drag it, grab it, and run like hell.
And I'll go release the Sprite.
Then I'm going to go ahead
Or we
and...
do pandemonium right now.
I'm going to close the door and barricade the door for the moment into the office so they can't get in.
I mean, that
You want to
won't,
lock yourself into a box room?
that won't be your action.
Oh, well. Then I have no idea what to do at this point. Like, I am completely... I'm just going to pass on my turn, I guess, because...
Think of it very much like an action movie montage.
Yeah, no, of course.
So
but...
all of the setup and stuff, like, you can do it however you want, but the actual role itself has to be something significant.
Yeah, exactly. And I have nothing significant that I can think of.
So right now you're in the position of...
Like, once it comes down to it, I can, like, barrel people out of the way. I can make I can help make the escape. That's kind of my role, but we're not doing anything yet. Like, we're just setting up for it. So that's why I'm somewhat lost.
So let's see. You're in the position where you can either kick off the thing or not.
Which the team has already said they don't want that to go.
Galdrien is all for kicking off the thing.
I mean, Ardith is good with whatever happens. It's just that either we wait till it's over or we do it now.
I don't think she's telling you not to do it. I think she's telling you...
Well, then I'm going to go classic Iocus.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go classic Iocus because why not? And I am going to. So right now we're in
You're like over
right here,
somewhere in the back room.
So basically, there's a wall directly outside, like to the exterior of the
building. Yes.
of the building. So I'm gonna grab it and try and run through the wall.
Sounds like a great strength check.
Yes, that is.
So I guess you already hop down.
Yes.
Me.
Hop down, grab it, and charging the wall. And you know what? This does sound like a fantastic Spike Jack thing to do. This is classic Spike Jack.
Yeah, snatch and grab is...
Especially going through the wall because you're a bull.
Strength is... That brings that up. I don't think it'll get it. 13.
13.
And the spike jack?
And the Spike Jack.
Okay.
Jeez, dice were not kind to us
I was
today.
gonna
No.
say you're gonna run into a wall.
So...
You're going to run into a stud.
So... No, he's already there. So here's what happens. Galdrien, you and Shannara are... You have talked to Suna and kind of made your way back and mingling. And everyone's sort of facing away from the pedestal. They're kind of talking to each other, not really looking directly at it. Even the twins who are leading this are in and amongst the crowd. When you glance over and you see the statue in that box, and then suddenly there's just these two big mitts that grab it and are like wrestling with it, trying to get it out of this configuration. And it is your turn.
Right. Galdrien is going to try to form a distraction by brandishing the black dragon mask and say, "You know, it would go great with my collection here,
Are you
rare
still,
draconic collection."
are you still yelling with the nerd?
Yes.
Yep, I think that's a pretty good... Throwing down another artifact is a pretty good...
28.
I whip out my big black dragon mask.
The bigger, blacker dragon mask.
The biggest, blackest dragon mask.
Right, so Galdrien, sees everybody getting ready to do this and says something along the lines of, like, I absolutely must win this because it would go great with my other artifacts, and pulls out this mask, which immediately, like, everyone stops what they're doing, faces him, and starts throwing offers his way. Including the twins.
You wanted a scene.
And Shannara gives you a nudge and points that the statuette is no longer in the box. Iocus, you have one statue in your hands. Suna.
Run! That's what I'm supposed to do.
So, since I was where Ardith was hiding originally,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn back into a bird. Can I fly over the office? Is it open on top?
Sure.
Like where he dropped
Yeah.
down? And kind of just see what's going on.
Mhm.
So I'll see him take it.
Yank the statue out. Look like he's about to bust his way out through the wall.
And then I'm going to kind of glance over and see what Galdrien and everybody's doing.
So everyone's shouting at Galdrien, and some people have even got, sacks of golden chits that they're sort of just thrusting in his face. Shannara looks like she has no idea what's happening.
Shannara's being eye candy.
Yeah. She was not expecting Galdrien to start whipping things out.
She should
Does
at
she
this
know
point.
Galdrien?
She should at this point.
Okay. So then I am going to fly back behind those bars to where the sprite is and try to open the door to let the sprite out.
Okay. Sounds like a great wisdom check.
So, I would like to use my chef background because I would have had to set traps to catch the critters that I'm about to cook. So I would have to know how to open the traps and everything in order to cook the critters.
No, these have pretty convenient latches.
I tried.
I tried.
Is it plus my level or no?
Yes.
Yes. So that's 18.
18. Very nice. So,
Huzzah, convenient latches.
you
That are manipulated by a bank. Ah.
you flap over to this this cage and flip the latch on it, that little sprite starts buzzing around you. At which point you give it a caw and sort of point towards the main room. At which point it just zooms out of there and starts beating people around the head, just banging into them with its body. Galdrien probably gets buzzed a time or two, at which point the sprite like zooms through somebody's champagne glass and shatters it. Someone lets out a scream, and then people just start running for the doors.
Nice job.
Ardith, you all of a sudden hear a bunch of yells, a bunch of money being tossed around, then a bunch of screams. And
Iocus is holding a statue.
Iocus has the statue in his hands.
And it's covered in plaster dust?
Yeah.
Even though he didn't go through the wall?
Yeah. So he probably just like leaned his whole body into that apparatus and just yanked it out.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we're ready now?
Yes.
You gonna take it? You want me to take it?
I don't care.
There are shouts of surprise from outside the office.
Oh, shit.
At which point someone's like, "Hey, who's in there?"
I can run faster. Clear the way. We'll swap.
Okay, I'm going to take the statue from him and shove it in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hop up and scale the wall and use upstairs the rafters to get closer to the door.
All right.
Because I don't think I can have time to get out the door. But I just want to avoid the people as much as possible.
It's a possibility.
Okay. Dex?
Yeah, sounds like a good dex check.
Problematic rogue for hire.
Yes!
A rogue solving problematic stuff.
It's 19 on the die.
Uh-huh.
So that would be a 28.
Okay. Is Iocus going to just burst his way out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're the distraction.
So Iocus just flings the door off its hinges into a couple of these guys and starts charging out, at which point Ardith makes her way up to the ceiling and then finds a good way to drop down into the main room amidst all the chaos and start heading out with the rest of the people, as is appropriate. It's Iocus's turn, who is now...
Do I see one of the brothers?
They're not back here. They're currently being pelted by a
By
sprite.
a sprite.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make a very loud and obvious exit.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll grab one of the crates, and I am going to say, this way, guys! and like, push people out, like, basically attack, but not violently, the crowd of workers as I make a beeline for the back door as I see her going the other way.
With a crate.
With a crate.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to steal something else.
Sounds like a great strength check.
This actually landed cocked, so I'm going to roll a different die. It landed into the corner. That was not good.
Your dice do not like you do that.
Nope.
He's gonna get... Now we're gonna
That
find
might
out
have been
jail.
a 5. Now it's a 3.
Oh, dear Lord.
You know what? I'm not even going to apply a background at this point. So
5,
8.
8.
My dice hate me.
We're gonna have to bail him out of jail.
Do I need to bring the holy water next time?
Yep. So
There was a mob of workers gathering on me.
yeah. So what happens is Iocus busts out, grabs a crate, like knocks one guy aside, starts running for the door, and one of the workers goes, "If we let him get away with that, they'll tack it onto our debt." And so everyone just piles onto Iocus and starts dragging him down to the floor. Galdrien, you saw Ardith leave. The brothers are trying to secure stuff when one of them looks up and notices that the statue is no longer in the box. And then you hear a bunch of yelling from the back room.
Galdrien's going to say, "I knew it was a fake!" And then angrily storm out with Shannara.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively removing myself from the scene, but then running around to the back to re-enter it, to provide assistance by doing what I can. I'm probably going to burst into the back door, trying to make a strength check to burst into the back door from the other end.
Oh, you being a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Using mercenary background.
Mm-hmm.
That is... Ooh, that's pretty good. So 16 on the die plus 2, so that's 18. 21 to bust down the back door.
What's going to happen is Galdrien accuses the brothers of peddling a fake, storms out, quickly runs around the back as fast as he can. He kicks open the back door, and when he does, he sees basically 9 guys piled on top of Iocus. And he looks to his left, there's shelves and boxes and stuff. Looks to his right, there's a rope leading up to a pulley that's got a little crane on it, and he just cuts the rope, and this huge box lands on all the guys on top of Iocus.
Oh!
But does not actually get Iocus. At which point, Galdrien's able to help him get out and run free.
That would be so cool if only Bait didn't hate me.
As you guys are meeting up, Shannara comes running up, and she's got a bunch of chits in her hand, and she goes, "I bought us passage on the last ferry out."
Right. Let's go. Has anyone seen Brave?
He pops up from behind one of the tents. He's got, we'll say that pixie is buzzing around his head now, and he snaps at it a couple of times and then just starts running towards the ferry.
All right, let's go.
Got everybody?
Shannara, Ardith, where's Suna?
You see a blackbird flying overhead.
Okay.
All right. I'm assuming that's you, Suna.
Meanwhile, Suna's been trapped. She's now in the box. Yeah, you guys get on the ferry and head out. There's a number of yells and alarms and people screaming, and
Wonder what that's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
wouldn't
gonna
know.
drop down and turn back into my normal form, though.
Mhm.
Because if they see a bird hanging out with y'all...
I'm going to be dusting plaster dust off my hands.
And your very black coat.
Yep. So we're gonna say when Suna goes to transform back, she has done that thing where she kind of tries to land gracefully, but the boat has this lurch where like the guys try to pull it, and it doesn't, because
It's snagged on something?
yes, that is the thing I am trying to say. So, like, just as soon as Suna lands and goes to transform back, the boat hits a rough patch and jostles her, and that acorn of hers goes flying out of her robes into the water.
I am jumping in after it.
You jump in,
Mm-hmm.
start looking, you don't see it, and then you see it just falling like a rock, most appropriately.
Can I try to swim fast to get it?
Sounds
Reach
like
and grab it?
a great dexterity check.
Thank God you can breathe underwater.
Yeah, really.
And she can't right now.
Ooh! 23.
Suna is trying to swim as fast as she can. You guys just basically saw her land, transform, land, and then turn around and immediately jump into the water. The acorn goes out of sight almost immediately. And then, after a while, you see it start rising back up towards you. Almost like if you've seen a balloon or something like that under the water. It's just very quickly. And then you realize it's either moving way too fast or it's a lot bigger than it was. At which point it goes to shoot past you.
Come on for the ride.
Yeah, you just grab onto it, and you miss it, but your hands grab onto something at the bottom of it, and it just flings you right back up onto the boat. Suna lands with a splash, just on her back, water going everywhere. She is clutching a staff that looks like it's made out of old mossy wood, and it's got an acorn at the top. The acorn is now about the size of Suna's head.
don't see this yet, though. I just know I'm holding something.
Yeah.
I'm coughing.
It's just sputtering up water.
What do you say?
You okay, Suna?
No.
I'm sorry, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the role of Iocus is going to be replaced by someone who doesn't make what does the fox say jokes.
Well, that's
Two
new.
thumbs up.
That's new. You kind of scared us there, jumping into the water like that.
Oh,
But,
my acorn fell out.
well, it seems it grew a staff.
I'm gonna be looking at the staff. I mean, any of the carvings or anything on it?
No, it looks so. You've seen carved staffs before, and you've seen like totems and things like that. This looks like it was grown from a single piece of wood, and then it's got that really thick, carpety green moss all over it. So, and it looks like it is growing out of the bottom of this acorn.
Is it taller than me yet?
Yes, it's probably now about a foot taller than you.
Not hard.
This was my acorn.
Congrats, you got a new toy.
You don't... What do you mean a new toy? But... What if it's to hurt me now?
Let me see it.
Somebody... You're not allowed to touch it. Mine.
Galdrien very pointedly taps the acorn. This is what it's like. This is what it's like with you. And he just keeps poking the acorn.
The lady asked you not to touch her nut.
It's my nut.
You don't want people touching your butt if you say no. It's from our God.
Hopefully. I've already pissed her off. I mean...
And you're accepting gifts if she's angry at you?
I didn't accept it. It just is here.
Well,
Why didn't you water it before?
You horked it up.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, no, I distinctly remember you just putting it in some dirt.
I did. I mean, I did.
And you caretake a forest. No wonder it burned down. There was no water involved.
Put some water on it.
Just now?
No, I put some water on the dirt that I buried it in.
Did you?
I did. Thank you.
Did that water come out of your body?
No.
The fairy docks.
So,
That was
did we
eventful.
get the statue?
The
No, the auction failed.
the ferryman says, "Just remember, folks, once you leave the boundaries of the properties, your golden chits are null and void."
Is
Can we
there
trade these things back in?
Yeah, I was going to say, where's the exchange?
Points at one of those booths that you previously visited.
Somebody sitting there still?
Mhm.
Okay, last ferry, so I wanted to make sure they didn't pack up early.
So, still have 925 gold chits to trade back, plus whatever Shannara managed to snag.
They're probably not going to be worth the 5 silver that...
Oh, definitely not.
Oh, yeah,
No, but
absolutely
we probably
not.
ended up coming out ahead.
You had 925.
25.
So, with what Shannara snagged, that's 2,780 silver
Wow.
Damn, girl!
if you trade everything in.
750 of that was Egbert.
So we now have...
780?
And y'all said don't pick up a basilisk egg.
I'm going to do the math here real quick.
I think Iocus is taking the wrong lesson from this.
We now have...
Crime never pays, except for when it does, and then it pays really, really well.
So we now have 3,350 silver has a party.
Can I have my 25 silver per spec?
Yes.
Yes, that's not including that figure.
Okay. Now that you guys wouldn't let me have any fun.
I think you had plenty of fun.
We
No,
got
I didn't get to kill the guy. And get to free all the things.
You should have seen the chaos that one sprite caused. It was kind of glorious.
When you say that,
What's your name?
when you say you didn't get to go free all those other things, that sprite starts buzzing, just bzzz, and then zooms right back across the
Go for it, girl.
across the water towards the floating stoat.
Can I turn into a bird and go help her?
Is that what you want to do?
I mean,
Go for it.
We need
Can
to
you-
try to
Can you find us later?
rescue Silent.
We can continue while you go free those sprites. It shouldn't take too long.
Last time we went to save Silent, one of our party died. It was the big, tall one that liked to charge into things. So,
Maybe don't
so I better
do
stay
that.
and protect you, is what you're saying? Is what he's saying?
Why are y'all looking at me?
We
I
like you.
initiated the
The heist?
heist.
Yep. You get all changed out. Shannara says, at best they're probably like 10 minutes behind figuring.
Yeah, let's go.
Did the staff stop growing?
Yes.
Okay.
right.
Which way, Simon?
Looking at the compass.
So, from where you guys are, the green still remains, it's more south than southwest. The blue is still straight south of you. The yellow is still straight south of you. The red is now southeast of you.
So green is more south than southwest. Would I guess that it's kind of here-ish in this area?
Yes.
So, all right. I think I remember, if I recall correctly, on this map of the Caldera, we originally located Silent at the dig site, right?
Yes.
So I think that's kind of where we want to head first, to try to get to him. It's down the river. We'll have to cross the river at some point because we are on the opposite side of it.
Sonara says, I found a guy who does pretty accurate teleporting.
Yeah, about that.
I don't remember why, but somebody said we shouldn't.
Hmm.
I'm gonna bring out my other staff, and I'm gonna sit there and try to hang and swing between the two
Didn't that
while
dump us
they're
in that
talking.
turtle village?
Yes, it actually managed to get us very close to a turtle village. But I think that was more of a fluke than anything.
I mean, I was just kidding because I don't want to go back over there.
Right.
I definitely don't want to go back over there with this thing in my pack.
Let's
And what thing would that be?
something we won at an auction, I'm sure, through perfectly legitimate means.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's continue. Let's go ahead and start moving.
Finders keepers.
How much time do we have before daybreak?
Oh,
Before
it's probably lunchtime.
Okay. We probably can't make it. We definitely can't make it to the dig site before nightfall, but we might be able to make it. Do we think we might be able to make it to maybe one of these towns here to the west somewhere, kind of in a southward direction?
You could probably get to one of them. We'll go ahead and cut it here, which is these guys totally not having caused any sort of situation and adding the floating stoat to the list of places they were never near.
Prove it.
Yeah. So,
This, we found it somewhere in the jungle.
yeah, totally. Found it just laying on the road.
Covered in moss
The things that people throw away.
and acorns.
Like the staff.
So we can talk about your nuts other times. Speaking of nuts, Suna's hot and spicy nuts. So I got some things to plug. I usually go around the table and ask these guys, but I got some stuff. So we set up a Teespring account, and we've got a bunch of things in there now, like T-shirts of Suna calling down the fiery, nutty vengeance of her god. We've got for those who loved and adored her, a Cabby, the Cabbage Person sticker in all of her glory, and then a Cabby Betrayed sticker after the party just dumped her by the wayside.
Because the GM is a monster.
Well, you kind of have to be, really.
Every single monster involved. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you asked for betrayed Cabby.
And my personal favorite is Galdrien's face on a pillow, so you can totally steal smooches and snuggle with him, or let the dog lay on it, whatever.
I wonder if we can actually make a body pillow of Galdrien.
I've been hoping you would never mention that.
Oh well, we've been hoping wrong.
Waifu Galdrien. So we've got that stuff. We link that in the show notes. And the usual stuff. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Average Adventuring Party, Twitter at Average Party, Facebook at the AAP Podcast. Basically, we're everywhere that was willing to put up with my shenanigans as far as advertising. I've put us there. So I think that's all I got for all the plugs. Anybody else have anything? Nope.
If you have any merch suggestions, I will consider it. And maybe ignore it.
Galdrien body pillow.
No.
Ardith body pillow?
Absolutely not.
Iocus body pillow. We got a winner there.
The thing is, I don't know if they sell full-size pillows or like body pillow-sized pillows, but Suna is small enough she could fit on the throw pillow. Because I think the throw pillow is like 26 inches, and that's fairly close.
But Suna doesn't cuddle.
No, she didn't.
So we can just ask them to put spikes on it.
Please make this out of the coarsest of wools. Rub it through the sticker patch. All right, so that's all I got for real this time. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see y'all next time.